Okay, so let's told that at a certain school you can take Spanish or Italian. And we're also given a Venn diagram to understand which students have selected which classes. So let's say here we have one circle, right? That'll represent all the kids in Italian. And then this circle over here, which represent all kids in Spanish. And the crossover section here in the middle will represent the kids that are in both subjects, both Spanish and Italian. Now, no matter how your Venn diagram is drawn, the size is not meant to indicate a greater or smaller group. For example, this little wedge in the middle for both could represent even more students that are in either other section on the Venn diagram. And if one circle is a little bit smaller than another, it doesn't imply that the amount in that group is less. So the size of these circles and regions is irrelevant. And let's just be clear about this shaded region over here. Since the whole circle on this left-hand side represents the kids that are in Spanish, if this green portion represents both, the remaining piece represents students that are just in Spanish alone, right, and not also in Italian. And likewise, this region right here represents the students who are just in Italian, right, and not in both Spanish and Italian. So this is just in Italian class. Okay, and then they'll go forward and give you numbers, right? So here, let's just say we see the numbers 28, right? And then in the middle section we see 2, so there's a 2 written in the middle. And then over here on the left-hand side, we have the number 35. So what do we do? What does this all mean? How many students are enrolled in each of these classes? Well, there are 35, right, in Spanish, plus 2 in both, plus 28 in Italian. This represents all the students that are going to these classes. We have 30 plus 20, which is 50, 8 and 2, which is 60, 5 more, 65. So there are 65 students in total. 2 are in both languages, 35 are just in Spanish, and 28 are just in Italian. If they ask how many students are taking Spanish altogether, you could say 37, right? Because you have to count those 2 that are in both. If they ask you how many students are taking Italian, well, that includes both those just taking Italian and those 2 over here who are taking both classes. So in that case, you would say 30. All right, hope that helped.